March this year, our world became very small. We went from meeting clients every day to suddenly being in lockdown like everybody else. So having reached out to clients, we spoke to them by phone, we set up appointments, and we started to use Zoom to actually support clients. So we started to create and develop courses that we could put on our new learning platform. And this really was with a finger on the pulse of what was happening out there due to the pandemic. During this time, we've had great successes actually. You know, in a time where the country was in lockdown and when it started to emerge, people were keen to get back to work. I think that's the difference that we try and do. We try and provide this impartial, you know, neutral, confidential support to people where we meet them where they're at.
Well, I left school very early. I left school at 14 and I ended up working in a supermarket for about 15 years, and then things got quiet, and then I ended up in Kodak in Youghal, doing DVDs and CDs and all that kind of stuff. And then I went self-employed, painting and decorating, which my father used to do for years. And while I was doing that, I got sick. I got a bit of a fright. And so I decided to go back to education because it was the thing that was on my mind all the time. So being in the education system, then I decided to do the Leaving Cert in the School of Commerce. So I ended up then proudly getting a joint honours in music and geography, bachelor's degree. Well, I did a lot of courses since I got involved with Secad. I've gone through 4 different modules since March. Well, I got what I needed to support the education that I went back to do, and I was delighted to get to graduate in the 2 subjects I love to do, and between the Microsoft and the Train the Trainer course and the Start Your Own Business course, they were all the things I needed to follow on. So that was I was going nowhere before that. Like, so this was a great help, and I feel very confident going forward now. Like.
People come to us and can avail of a whole array of supports really, from manual handling, safe pass, food safety training, retail skills. All of our Start Your Own Business courses have now gone online, and we found this to be a very positive experience for people because there's no travel involved, there's no expense involved. All people need is access to their own phone or to a laptop. So this has proven to be a very positive experience for us.
I think we all got used to Zoom really, really quickly, and it just became the norm, you know, logging on at 10 or 11 in the morning every week and having a chat and see how everyone was doing. And in some ways it was actually better for me because I didn't have a car where I was, and it was very rural, so I was relying on my partner or on buses. So, you know, for me, without somebody who doesn't have a car, it was more accessible for me actually just doing it online. I actually do have a fine art degree, so I was always practicing in the background, always doodling away. So my own range of books is something that I always really wanted to do. My case manager from the Intrio in Youghal actually referred me to Secad as I wanted to start my own business, and she referred me onto the Start Your Own Business course there. So that's how I got in touch with you guys. Donna, who got in touch first, she was facilitating the Start Your Own Business course. Through doing that course, then I got onto the REN course. So there's a network of us women in rural areas in business that meet up every week by Zoom at the moment because of COVID. So we're all still working together and moving towards starting our own businesses. And you know, if I had known that I could get so much support with it, I probably would have done it years ago. But it just, you know, you don't know until you take that jump. But it's great. I keep telling people, anybody in the artistic field, it's obviously a very scary thing to do, to go out on your own, but I just tell people, go for it, because there are the supports there. You will get the help that you need if you just ask for it.
During the COVID-19 lockdown, our service continued to deliver that person-centred, confidential support, where we guided clients across many different areas, principally career coaching, to help clients navigate a rapidly changing labour market. One of the most critical elements that has given us such an edge, particularly in the year 2020, has been not only that person-centred nature of our service, but the adaptability and the responsiveness which we've demonstrated during the lockdown. transitioning our service from a face-to-face based service to one online. We put the human first, and that's what makes Secad Employment Services from Secad Partnership unique.
I came to Secad, I think it was back in March this year at the height of COVID-19. I was at a crossroads in my career. I did a number of roles which hadn't worked out, but the previous role was a contract role. So I came to Secad, and basically it was a full review of my CV and where I was coming from and my experience. So it was a real eye-opener. And I suppose it was only when the roles went wrong that suddenly I started doubting myself and doubting my own ability. With Kieran, found him brilliant. Why? I suppose number one, he was asking me questions, and he was making me think where I wanted to go. And I suppose the one mistake that I made, I suppose, with reflection was, I was always looking at my CV. I didn't want the gap in my CV. So I suppose that led to bad career choices. But really, I suppose more important was really fine-tuning my CV. So when it came to each role that I applied for, mapping my experience and my skills to that role, line by line. So at least when I came into an interview, I was walking in, being confident, and I suppose more importantly, relaxed.
I was studying herbal science at the CAT, and before that I've obtained FIDEC qualifications in horticulture, level 5 and 6. The field where I specialize, getting jobs in that area is not so straightforward. It wasn't easy for me, and I guess meeting people in Secad and having their support all along shortened the path for me to get a job I want. My TUS supervisor introduced me to several other TUS participants, including the ones here in Fota, and that's how I found out about opportunities to get employment. So I just thought, this is opportunity of my life, I should go for it. I applied and I got a job. And today I am horticulture assistant and I work with a horticulturalist, and this is my dream job. I got a contract, I'm here, this is my day-to-day job. And my friends, they just can't believe it. So.